Hello, my name is Ellis. Welcome to the Grinwy Gaming channel, your ultimate gaming channel here on YouTube. I'm adjusting the audio while I do the intro. I hope you're in the mood for some clickies and, stuff you don't care about. And I hope... Welcome to the channel where you watch stuff you don't like to watch. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you for checking this out. What are we doing? Well, Starcraft 2 is... I don't know. One of my most played games ever? It's hard to say. I don't know if there's a spot where you can see your hours played, but I've played this game since 2015 on this account. I started in 2013 on another account, and like you can see, I've never been great. I've always been pretty average. Oh, here we go. This is, yeah, here's the 2013. It's just Heart of the Swarm. So, I've never been great at this game. It's really hard. I really like it. It's really fun. It's really hard to explain. It's really hard to express what's satisfying about what I'm doing. If you don't know, basically you control up to 200 units. Some of them are workers. Some of them are army. Some of them cost more than just one unit, so you could have one thing on your screen, like a big ship that costs 6 workers, but you still just get that one, but it counts as 6. So you could only have 200 divided by 6 of those versus 200 workers. It's an RTS. If you don't know what StarCraft 2 is, I feel bad for you. You are missing out on an aspect of gaming that is highly undervalued and highly underappreciated, in my opinion. But regardless, it is dying. For about 20 years, Koreans have dominated this game. I don't know if it's... I'm not going to be ignorant here. It's a cultural thing. They see it as it's an esport there. There's no argument about it. Here you might be like, oh, you're a pro gamer? That's not a real job. There it's like, sweet, good job. Drop out of high school, join a house, work hard, maybe succeed, maybe don't, whatever. It's a job. Finishing up my tequila. With any death, or with any ending of a cycle, there's an opportunity for rebirth. And in this case, that is Stormgate. Sorry, I just put in a dip like an idiot. Doing a live stream. Let's do the thing that makes me sound weird. I just got over a cold. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I feel like I'm a creative person, but when I get lost in life, and that's with air quotes because I don't think it's real life, working a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, busting ass, getting underappreciated, undervalued, treated like shit. I don't have inspiration, and I think creativity really stems from inspiration. I think that my channel really shows that. When I wasn't working and I was, taking advantage of government programs to get medicine and see therapists and be broke, like literally had no money, I could create, and it felt great. I was happy. I wasn't totally fulfilled, but I was happier. But then I, get a job. I make too much money to get those government assistances and get the therapy and the medicine, and my day is 9 to 5, put on a mask, try not to be weird, get through the day, and not get fired. I don't have the energy to create. Recently, I went on a trip, and It was just like a little 3-day trip, you know, with 12 hours of driving additionally. But I went on a 3-day vacation, solid 72 in Tennessee in the mountains, rock climbing, jumping off bridges into creeks or rivers, I should say. Don't do that. It's really dangerous. But when you get older, you can do it because you have nothing to live for. No, that's a bad joke. Really, the trip kind of inspired me. I saw the American dream, and it's not, moving forward with technology and going to space and using your phone to do literally everything for you. It's connecting to nature. And I'm not a religious person, but sometimes when I see how beautiful Earth is, that's me seeing God or whatever you want to, it could be Allah or the Jewish God. I don't know what he's called. Anyways, enough of that. I just did a 7-minute intro without any gameplay. And that's where I'm at right now, like in a void, I guess. What I'm doing, it's working. It's not that hard. It's not that stressful. It's not that rewarding. It's not that fulfilling. It's not that profitable. There's no future in it. But I'm surviving. I don't know why Starcraft has this hold on me like it does. It's the one game I'm like, I don't want to play Starcraft right now. But if I do, hours go by and I'm like, holy crap, I feel just as good as when I started. I don't know. Anyways, Blizzard was bought by Microsoft, which is good and bad. A long time ago, Microsoft used to be one of the first major corporations to sponsor an esports tournament for Starcraft. If you don't believe me, look it up. They did. It wasn't like a huge prize pool or anything. But yeah, the Korean scene is dried up. It's no longer like corporately funded. It's coming just off of Patreon, which means, 32 to 64 pros used to be playing for $500,000 prize pools are now playing for 20,000, between a lot of them. I won't say it's bad. This game is pretty old. It hasn't been updated much. It got bought out. But Frost Giant Studios has a lot of the original StarCraft 2 designers, developers, programmers, balancers, working on a new game called Stormgate. It's going to be on Steam. It's going to be free to play. It's an RTS. I've signed up for the beta that's supposed to drop in July. Can't wait to try it. Looks really good in my opinion. Sorry. This cold is still choking me up sometimes. From what I've seen, it looks somewhere in between StarCraft, Warcraft, and AoE. I only say the AoE thing because it's kind of like lower unit counts, whereas I feel, well, I guess Warcraft was kind of lower unit counts, and I never played that game, but it looks similar to StarCraft. It looks different. It's got a lot of Warcraft elements, a lot of StarCraft elements. I think it's definitely a game you should try playing for free. But I've never played the campaigns on my channel. And I've never, really, unless you were subscribed to me in 2014 through 16, played a lot of StarCraft on the channel. I know it doesn't get much love. I'm not good. I'm not good enough to draw in a viewing. I don't care. I do this for me. You guys know that. all 0 viewers of you. Yeah. I say that lovingly because I love myself most of the time. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to finish the Starcraft campaigns before I hit the beta. Can't guarantee it since it's the 29th. But I want to start with a replay. And before I do that, I'm going to go get a beer. So if you're joining while it's nothing, I don't care. I'm not doing this for you. I'm going to catalog my StarCraft 2 campaigns so I can enjoy me playing them, talking to myself about things I think are important. And if you don't like it, just continue to not watch, you know? I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. I'm gonna go grab that beer, and then hopefully I'll start. I got a little surprise. I'm gonna show a replay, and then we'll jump into the first campaign that released back in 2010. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. Shit. Might skateboard. This will be quicker. It's kind of dangerous. Ooh. I love you guys. Thank you, YouTube, also for letting fucktards like me just fucking destroy your bandwidth and take up your data. Yeah, I'm gonna skate. It's a lot quicker. Oh no, I just double knotted my drawstring. I've got a lot to say, so this will be a great 3 hours or so. I'll BRB. I left my keys in here. I need those. Okay, I'm back. How long? Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Okay. So yeah, let's start with this replay. I don't know why it's sticking out to me, but it was funny. This is the one. It's a 24-minute game, which is definitely on the longer end of games I play. I won't talk about too much fun stuff. So if you want to skip this, go ahead. Skip ahead 25 minutes. We'll start the campaign. We'll be able to talk about more chill stuff. I'll just go ahead and leave it on my camera for the intro here. I'm just starting with a cannon rush against Zerg, which is never good because they expand so fast and creep you can't build cannons on. If you're into Starcraft, I'd recommend checking out Pig, Hearthstone. Hearthstone's my number one, but if you don't really understand the game, it's not going to be as satisfying to watch. Pig is really good for new people getting into the game, people who don't understand it, or people who play it for fun, like me. Other than that, what I did there, normally with a cannon rush, you want to get in there as soon as you can, but based off the Zerg timings I know, you can get spotted by their drone. That little building you saw going down, the little red square over here on the mini-map, is a hatchery. My opponent's taking a base. With those bases, you get resources to make things. Been experimenting a little bit with throwing a gateway down earlier. I don't think this cannon rush ends up working, but this is a good build to go against when you do it. Get the cancel. Oh. So I should have seen this guy run away, and I'm pretty sure I did. I thought for sure... I thought for sure he'd be taking a base here. Instead, he's going to do something interesting. In the meantime, my cannons are going to finish up. And I'm feeling decent about this because I'm pretty sure, like I said, he's taking a base right here. However, his drone is all the way over here. The interesting stuff is happening over here. You can see my cannons are really just delaying his natural is the goal. Since I've invested so much into this, I'm pretty far behind. I don't have a second yet. I don't know if this is a wall or not. It might be a total wall. I might have been pretty confident. Spine crawlers is an absolutely perfect response to a cannon rush. Spine crawlers just kind of destroy cannons. I get the queen, so that's actually pretty important. I kind of misread a little bit here, so I've also got a proxy set up. Once my cybernetics core finishes up, I'll probably go for some sort of proxy, although my probe is getting pulled. So that's not great. My natural goes down. So my main strategy, if I cannon rush a Zerg, is to get my second base before they do, or destroy theirs if they build it there. However, he's got his natural, we'll call it, is at a proxy. It's not even at his third location. This is more like the fifth base location. which is lucky for me that he didn't go here, or he might have seen my pylon. Currently, speed's getting researched, which makes their Zerglings run a lot faster. You can see the spine crawlers on the high ground are going to clean up everything. He's totally secure from the cannon rush. I'm just hoping that I built enough of an economic lead, and you can see here it's not a full wall, to do something. I got one military unit on the map. My opponent has 4 Zerglings, which is about even. Other than that, Stargate just got dropped. I had to bring that probe back. You probably didn't see that. This is the guy that I sent way over here. Got another proxy pylon here for warp-ins, which means I should be researching warp-gate technology, which lets Protoss warp-in gateway units, which this is a gateway, which makes these units anywhere there's a pylon once you get that warp-gate. So I could make units right here without him really knowing about it. That's the idea. Opponent takes his natural again as his third base. Proxy is got a decent amount of saturation on it. He's transferring the drones over. I'm working on my Void Ray. I saw spines, which means he probably doesn't have enough money for spores, but he did squeeze a spore in there somehow. Not sure how he was able to afford that. Well, I do know how, because we're both bad. I guess we can jump back into my first-person view. You see, here I am focusing on my starports, and warp gate is done, which is why I was able to make a stalker over here. Taking double gas to keep up with my Stargate. Unfortunately, his Zerglings do scout the map and are able to find my proxy. I'm able to stop them before they destroy it, but he definitely knows what's up now. And that's a pretty important structure to lose. Typically, you'll see that built in a base. Managed to kill a spore crawler before it finishes, and I'll try to focus down a queen. Don't think he has enough energy to transfuse. So I get, oh, a little bit of micro there. You see that? I pulled back the one. Oh, baby. Baby. Putting down a third for myself. I'm unaware that he has a third, so I think I'm pretty far ahead right now, which is probably why you'll see me attack here soon. In terms of my opponent, he's putting down a Hydralisk Den, which is going to be able to take out air units. He's got plenty of spores, so he's pretty safe from what I've got going on. Like I said, I didn't think he had a third base right now, though, so I'm assuming he doesn't have this much money to do that. Thankfully, I put down my third. I've also got some more gateways being warped in to get more units, and or I guess it's called infrastructure. My main is already mining out. This building will let me upgrade some stuff that I am not currently upgrading. Opponent's Hydralisk Den just finished, and he's instantly putting money into both upgrades. Probably not necessary, since he's just trying to hold. Hydralisks are good pretty much before this point. Once it's past 9 minutes, they're pretty useless. You saw me check the third. I had no reason to expect him to be over here. That's bad by me. I should have realized, wow, he's got so much stuff right now. Still getting a decent amount of damage done with these Void Rays. You can see me target firing the units that attack up or attack air units, and then I realized I can't really attack into that anymore. Kind of a bummer he sent his Zerglings over there. He should really try to take this base, although I guess he can't right now. Back at home, I have made 1 robo, 2 robos. When I cannon rush and it goes wrong against Zerg, I feel very susceptible to counterattacks, which is why I'm going double robo to try to get some splash units to deal with his Zerglings. The Hydras are out, and you can see they are taking care of my Void Rays pretty well. The Zealots will be decent against them. They'll trade fairly evenly, but not brilliantly. Heading back into first-person perspective, this is what I was doing during the game, if you're confused about that. Fleet Beacon goes down. That'll let me make some high-tier flying units. Opponent has a Lurker Den going down, which is a very good unit against ground. It's undetectable and shoots out a line of damage that's about this long. So if he had a Lurker right here, everything in this line or whatever would get damaged. It's actually pretty good against Zealots, so there's a good read by my opponent there. This was a really good game. My opponent played it really well. I still don't know about this base over here. This is my vision. Look, I'm going to check. I check the third again, and I'm like, he's still only 2 base, which of course is not the case, although I am going up to my 4th base. Typically against Zerg, if you're even on bases, you're ahead. If you're 1 behind, you're even. So it's looking like I'm very far ahead right now. Go back to my player perspective. Just cranking out Immortals, which are splash units against ground, while my opponent makes Hydras. My Immortals are absolutely going to crush those.
I return to serve.
I should have, yeah, you can see that I saw units coming from this way. So I know there's a base over here, I just don't know where. Good on my opponent to notice that I'm taking that opportunity. And he's going to try to flank me with his Hydralisks. That right there is a recall, which means I sent my units back to my base. This base recalled them. Protoss is hacks, man. You can just teleport, like it's just built in. A little bit of poor rally points here. My Stargate's gonna get canceled. I think I'm gonna get this carrier out, but it's not a big deal. Especially with all these Hydras here to just kill it instantly. So that's 350 units, or minerals, and a lot down their drain. Units lost. I've only lost 38 units, but that's about 2,000 more worth of resources, which is never good. Zergs should always have more resources lost. However, I'm up on a 5th base open, mining out of 4. Pretty good saturation, pretty good gas count. Opponent puts down the infestation pit, which is going to let him upgrade to his hive, which unlocks more technology for the Zerg race. A whole bunch of banelings being made. If I keep going Zealots, banelings are a good idea, which I just warped in a bunch of Zealots, so we'll see how this baneling interaction works out. You can see now I realize that he does have that base there, so I'm posturing on it. He's actually sending a Hydra squad on the left, which is really good to split your army like that. Although it looks like he's realized oh no, he doesn't know yet. Now he should. Hydra should come over to the right side. Doesn't look like he's too concerned about it. 3 lurkers on the way. These are those units that hide underground and are nasty. Meanwhile, back home, I realized I was going to lose my starport over here, so I made 2 back at home to make carriers, which are non-combat units that make up to 6 units that fight. So they it's like, what would that be? If you had like a corn cob, this is the corn cob, but the corn cob can't fight. But if it makes enough kernels and shoots the kernels out, the colonels can fight. So I'm fighting him with corn colonels, pretty much. He doesn't have a lot of anti-air except for the 17 Hydralisks. He should really go into a Spire to get some Corruptors. Instead, he looks like he's going for Spores. He takes his 4th base, which should have been his... Oh, this is technically called the 3rd location, even though it's his 4th base. You can see I'm on 5 still, mining pretty heavily from all of them. My economy's good. We'll take a look at what I'm looking at as we move into this fight here. Just so you know, we're trying to posture up over here. These are those lurkers, so I can't see them without detection. And I don't have detection, so you can see the spines getting shot out. They're not targeting anything great yet. They should be going this way. Lurkers get buried there as well. They're going to clean up my ground army, guaranteed. Even though my carriers are wreaking havoc, I can't see these. So if I go to my view, you can see I don't see those units that are there, which is why he ends up holding here. I'm upgrading my weapons and stuff. Upgrades are super important. I have realized it's lurkers. You can't really tell from my response. I built a Colossus Zealots, another Robo. Is that a 3rd Robo? Yeah, it's a 3rd Robo facility. That's probably a mistake right there. I should be making observers, like right now. Hopefully I don't lose these. I lose one of the carriers. I'm able to recall the other 2, which is actually pretty huge. On these you can see it's training interceptors. You can see the little bars underneath their health and shield bar. Those are the little fighter units. It looks like they have 8, not 6, so my bad. His upgrades are actually really good, which is probably another reason he's doing so well. Is that Carapace 3? Okay, that's a mistake. Carapace is armor upgrades for Zerg, and you just don't need it. You can get attack, melee, attack, range. You don't need Carapace. Although, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You can see my opponent up here has a bunch of money that he's not really spending, which means he probably doesn't have larva. Although, he has a decent amount. What do he choose to spend that larva on? More Hydras. He's going heavy into the lurkers. Do I have any observers yet? Nope, still no observers, so I haven't realized that I can't detect his... Another little fight here at the 4th base, which was his 2nd base. And it looks like I've got good posture here. I'm able to take out the base, but the lurkers are still wreaking havoc on my ground army. So I pretty much just lost everything there. I got a bunch of carriers, but without being able to see anything, I can't kill anything. The Hydras I'm shredding, because Hydras suck. I definitely saw lurkers there. Opponent is upgrading the lurkers because he's like, holy crap, this is destroying. And he's right, it is destroying a lot. Let's take a look at my perspective here. I'm focused on the fight with my carriers, thinking I could win, then I realized I couldn't.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Managed to save 2 of the carriers again. Another bad fight. Disruptor being built instead of a observer. So I think this is the moment actually I realized he had lurkers that I couldn't detect. I was like, wow, he shouldn't be able to stop me with just a couple lurkers, but I was wrong. You can see my perspective for a little bit here.
Mineral field depleted.
I can't remember if I canceled. I think I canceled the Colossus. Okay. Oh, I canceled the... Wait, no. Okay, no, I didn't cancel it. Good. Observers being created, multiple of them. Those will let me see the lurkers when they're burrowed, which should make this an easy win. Opponent really needs to expand twice. I don't know where all his money went. That's actually kind of interesting. There's a fight happening with Hydras and a couple of units. The Hydras probably won't be able to get through 4 carriers and whatever I have supporting them, just because they're not that good. Taking a 6th base. I haven't been pressured at all, which kind of speaks to how bad I am at this game. I'm up 2 bases. My income is probably, yeah, twice, maybe even 3 times what he has. I have 3 times the workers almost, or 2.25. Go ahead and put it back in first-person perspective as we roll out for this attack. I've got observers now. They're the little shimmery things, like kind of look like they're from the Matrix. It's this guy right here. It's highlighted with the yellow. It doesn't attack, so unfortunately... Oh. Sorry. I accidentally clicked my mouse wheel to the left. Anyways, this is the observer. It doesn't attack. So if you move your whole army with one button like I do, which is bad, it's going to get destroyed super quick because it's not going to stop to fight. You can see this one just yeeting in there and it's dead. So I lost my detection already. I think I kind of realized I lost my observers too quick because I'm like, wow, why are these lurkers still destroying me? Another recall. We're just, yeah, this is crazy. I've lost so much more than the Zerg has. The only reason I'm winning is that he hasn't been expanding or hasn't been able to expand. Really shouldn't be able to hold this sort of aggressive trade strategy with Protoss. If you're giving away as many units as I have, you probably should lose the game. However, I think my movement's been good enough. I've been getting a couple lucky breaks. The carriers have been unanswered. He doesn't have a spire. That's really what's hurting him the most right now. Oh, no, he's got a spire. He got a spire at some point. I don't know where. We cancel the base. Yeah, no, he doesn't have a spire. So either sniped his spire or something, I don't know. Lurkers are down, but I have the observer this time. You can see the observer there, so I'm able to attack into it. Vipers are really good against carriers, able to abduct them. I did take out another base though, so that's decent.
Mineral field depleted.
Little worker transfer.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, the reason I'm so bad at this game, it takes me so long to do the macro steps. Great players can build reinforcements while they fight with their army in 2 locations, you know. Opponent is still, however, stuck on 3 bases. So we take a look at the income. Again, I'm just making too much for him to be able to keep up, even though I've lost so much. Putting him down to 2 bases is pretty much the nail in the coffin here. Unless his Hydras can hold, it's going to be really tough. Doesn't look like that Hydras are holding. You can see me microing the observers. I've got my army moving forward without me controlling them. I'm just trying to control the observers so they don't die, so I can kill his lurkers. I think he realized that I figured out the lurkers were the problem. We're gonna break his natural. And even though my opponent played a hell of a game, he's got nothing left. He's only got 17 workers compared to my 82. He can't make anything because he has pretty much no bases. And yeah, that's about all she wrote. I even take a cheeky 7th base down here. Don't know why I chose that location. These zealots aren't doing anything. And this is about when my opponent realizes he's on 1 base, he can't do anything. So that's GG. I hope you liked that. That was one of my crazier multiplayer games with Protoss. This is the last race I learned. I don't know if you noticed. But when I started back in Heart of the Swarm, I only played Terran. And then it's around here I started, or 2019, 2018, I started playing Zerg. And then I haven't started playing Protoss probably 2022 at the latest, or earliest. Earliest. So yeah, that was just a little replay. Sorry, as I fight for air, the wildfires have hit Indiana, or the aftermath of the wildfires. But I want to show you the campaign, or I want to record me enjoying the campaign, is what I should say. I'm going to rename this replay because it's funny. If you're curious what I've been doing on the ladder in the last couple of weeks, I've been winning a lot. You see there's a lot more green than red until we get about 2 weeks ago. So I have been actually getting decent. I felt like I've definitely improved a little bit. These two don't count because those are a campaign. It's online or something. Anyways, don't think I'm going to buy the Nova Covert Ops. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling when when I finish these, depending on if Stormgate's out or not. This is going to be cringe for actual Starcraft 2 players, but I'm going to play on normal difficulty probably, just because I don't like to feel like I lose a level and like have to start over. And, you know, it's like if you die, you die. You should be done. You know, I don't know. Like I said, not the best StarCraft 2 player, so I don't see why I should try to push myself in the campaign when it's completely irrelevant compared to online experience, although some things do kind of... What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of tactics, mechanics, and strategies used in online that you just don't translate to the campaign. Like, yeah, you can rally, or you can, you know, group your army, but you don't have to multitask as much in campaign, so there's no reason to split control groups, really, except for a couple of missions. And when I play on the easier difficulty, it actually lets me practice a little bit more since I don't feel the pressure. I can sacrifice the 12 seconds to get my army set up the way I want it to. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like I said, you control up to 200 units at a time, or 200 supplies worth of units, which typically translates to 100 to 135, 150 maybe, actual individual what would they be called in computer programming language? Entities, objects. They'd probably be objects. What I've experienced in my time enjoying this game is that the best players will use there's things called controlled groups. So once you make units, you can save them to a hotkey, and you can press that button to select all those units you saved to it. So, for example, just looking at these three people, I could put Jim Raynor on control 1, Kerrigan on control 2, and Artanis on control 3. And then I could be messing around with my workers or my bases or my buildings. If I press 1, Jim Raynor gets selected. If I press 3, Artanis gets selected. If I press 1 again, it goes back to Jim. Blah, 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 blah. I'll try to explain it as I go. I mean, there's really no point. I just kind of want to talk about me and the campaign, how much this game, God, like, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional today. I think I'm realizing this game is going to be done. And when I was in high school, I wanted to be a pro Starcraft 2 player. I wanted to stream and live in a house with a team and be a pro player. And I didn't, because I thought that I had to focus on my academics and get a degree to do something I hate. I don't know. I did commit a couple times, and the progress is so slow. You either, well, as a child, I think I just burnt out. As an adult, or when I was in college and trying to put time into it, or when I had that great medical support, and really committed to my YouTube playing Magic, you don't make money. And if you don't make money, you can't really live like that, unfortunately. I don't think that's the way it has to be. It's just the way it is in this country. And, you know, as a radical statement, as an American, I think America definitely thinks it's way overrated than what it actually is. I don't think we're the best country on the planet. I think our medical system sucks. I think our political system sucks. I think our law enforcement is okay. I think we're built on principles that worked 200 years ago and didn't account for an expansion of such a radical degree. I would much rather live in a third world country, Europe, Cuba, you know. If you look at Europe, their cultures and communities have different languages. America, which is bigger than Europe, has one language for all these different subcultures and subcommunities that are all afflicted by the same central system. I think there's a sort of separation between federal and state level that has failed in this country compared to the way Europe defines its countries as part of the European Union. They have more state, air quotes, power than federal power, and it seems to work a lot better. And, you know, I've never even traveled outside of this country. Been a lot of places in it, but that's just my opinion.
They say a man never really knows himself. Until his freedom's been taken away.
By the way, the cinematics in this game are fucking incredible.
I wonder, how well do you know yourself?
Step forward onto the platform.
Damn, this dude makes me crave a cigarette every time I see him. Look at those toes. Look how they bend down like, oh, he's a beefy boy. I've got shitty toes. It sucks. My feet are just fucked.
Convict 626.
I'll try not to talk too much during these parts.
Pirate. Traitor. Today, you go free.
Active. Active versus free.
But, as you'll soon learn, even freedom has a price.
Combat suit sealed and locked.
You'll carry your prison with you. That armor will be your new cell. Make no mistake. War is coming. With all its glory. And all its horror. Mr. Findlay, your freedom awaits.
Tychus Finley.
Hell, it's about time.
So it's so weird talking to myself in the future. If you didn't follow Starcraft 1, which I never played, never watched a playthrough of the campaign, I've seen it online, it looks good, very difficult. Well, that's a little twangy.
You've squandered trillions on hunting down has-been rebels like Jim Raynor.
Jim Raynor represents a clear and present.
Hello, okay. Just checking the audio. Sorry, it's skipping out.
Scrupulous, lawless revolutionary bent on spreading fear and dissension across the sector. He and his ragtag band of miscreants have instigated open rebellion across 6 separate worlds. And stolen grass accounts of the early records of this criminal will be brought to justice very soon.
It ain't over till it's over, you son of a bitch. Adjutant, are my troops ready yet?
Your forces are prepared.
I think the audio's okay. I can't tell.
Uploading tactical data now.
Good. About time we kick this revolution into overdrive.
Backwater Station is the center of Dominion logistics on Marsara.
Yeah, it looks like it's okay. I think you guys could hear it without it being too overpowering.
Authority here will cripple Emperor Meng's operation.
Okay, so a little background about Terran. Earth exists. It's like kind of like a long ago sort of planet. They're on a different planet now, mainly like the human species. They've expanded into most of the galaxy, galaxy, most of the galaxy. The Brood War refers to a big war between Zergs, humans, and Protoss. That was Starcraft 1. I don't know much about it. Mission Liberation Day. Objective: destroy the Dominion outpost.
Adjutant, what do you got for me?
Dominion forces have set up a logistics headquarters in the town of Backwater Station. This has become the hub for all operations on Marsara.
I'm gonna take my allergy medicine.
They pulled troops out of the city and they are now under strength.
Are the locals cooperating?
The people of Backwater Station are known to be anti-Dominion, but they lack weapons and organization.
If I can take that headquarters away from Mengsk, it'll cripple him on this planet. Prep my ship.
I wish I knew about the significance of Marsara. I know it's an outer rim, outer edge. I think they use the word rim planet, so it's like, you know, the Wild West of the galaxy. And that's where Jim Raynor is hiding out right now. I kind of want to... Yeah, it's like... I just don't know if I'll have the energy to commit to this full series. But I would like to talk about Terran things during the Terran campaign. What I mean by that is human interaction at its core and how it pertains to me. I'd like to talk about like a hive mentality or a social focus mentality where you kind of lose identity in the presence of a large societal or cultural presence. I guess it's called appropriation or mirroring or dysphoria for the Zerg campaign. And then I'd like to talk about revelations and inner perspective transpiring to social connection for the Protoss campaign. I know that sounds very vague, but I've got a lot of stories. I've got a lot of personal growth, personal failure, personal achievement, personal loss. And I guess if I was going to describe my philosophy in a nutshell, it would be that the individual is everyone. The individual is God. The Bible is not a collection of people. It's one person telling one story, revealing their true self. And I think that's the most connection you can get, is just by being yourself. Not trying to go too deep or be weird, but like as an English major, when I read a book, I'm not reading a book, I'm getting to know the author, or more accurately, the speaker. And getting to know the speaker will provide you insight to a larger societal theme. So, without further ado, let's play this easy-ass level, and I will decide. You know, I don't need to decide. I don't need to plan this. I have a general plan, as I have just made clear. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to nobody because I feel alone.
Don't need to fear the Dominion. Talk to me. What's up?
Commander, there are tutorial videos awaiting your review.
Yeah, I bet there are.
Raiders roll. Keep your intervals wide, your eyes open, and your asses covered. Let's move. Time to man up.
Don't go up that road.
Plan. You can count on me. Time to man up.
Rainer. Kill him.
Sell me. What's the plan?
By the numbers.
Talk to me. Sounds like a sell me.
Keep a close watch on your neighbors. Descent will only slow our progress.
Commander, restoring the Dominion holoboards will help incite rebellion against the Dominion.
Break it down. I'm getting mighty tired.
Okay, I gotta like, I can't hear myself think, so I'm gonna drop this a little bit.
Meng's face. Blast it.
I'll keep tweaking the
What's the
audio.
plan? Raiders roll.
So what I want to talk about first, I guess, is my most recent vacation that I mentioned earlier in
You
this
can count on me.
ridiculously long-winded stream.
Plan.
Basically, I had some family
What's up?
from Tennessee. Holy crap. My audio is just gone. Hold on. Man, I wish I had a second monitor.
Talk to me. Raiders roll.
My neighbors.
My family. This is starting to look ugly.
Okay. I think audio is at a good level. I'll try my best to talk. It's
Count on me.
pretty loud in my ears. I guess I could take it off my headphones.
Time to man up.
Commander, a large Dominion force is gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about.
Oh, I lost a Marine.
Thanks for the assist. We're with you, Rainer. Work hard. Stand front. That's Rainer. Most wanted man in the Dominion.
Yeah. Charge it.
Anyways, I got family in Tennessee that lives like kind of off the grid.
Raiders roll.
They're probably,
Plan.
you know,
Raiders roll.
80 to 90% self-sufficient. Solar power, grow their own vegetables,
Time to man up.
hunt, fish.
Your freedoms must be protected.
And they said we could come down for a weekend in Tennessee, in the mountains, Appalachia. So we did, me and my father, whose family is also his, or something like that. We had a blast. You know, I try to be active. I don't work out per se, but you know, I try to play sports, go golfing. I like to rock climb in a gym.
What's the plan?
But the thing about Indiana is there are no mountains or rocks or hills,
You can count on me.
so I climb in a gym.
Where's the locals?
You'll all be given a meal when you reach the dig site.
My brother went off to the mine last week. He disappeared.
This guy's getting cold feet.
We got a runner.
They're shooting civilians. Move
They're shooting runners, technically. I don't...
What's the plan?
Did I get all the hollow boards?
Break it down. Tell me.
We could use some help here. Roger that.
What's up? Break it down.
You gonna give me orders?
Mengsk has a lot to pay for. Thank you, Rainer. We knew you wouldn't forget us.
There's more people still being held up ahead.
I'll see to them.
Father, you gonna give me... this better be good. Father,
Tell me.
Marshal Rainer. Been a while since we saw you around here.
We're with you, Raiders!
been waiting on you.
Break it down.
This is a restricted area. You insurgents are under arrest. We got your back, Rainer.
Time to man up. You can count on me. Raiders roll. What's the plan? Talk to me.
So yeah, and like, actually interesting story, and I'd like to catalog this for myself as well.
I didn't think we could fight them, but we can.
Now you've got the weapons.
God, there's so many
and the
cutscenes.
resources to do it. Remember, Mengsk can only control you if you let him.
Yeah, fight the man. So yeah, we're prepped to go down on vacation. My car gets fucked up literally the day before we're about to leave. Thankfully, my mom let me borrow her car, which is, you know, this video is sponsored by the 2023 Kia Sportage. Great car, beautiful car. It's got the drive assist. Like, I never drove 8 hours without doing as little work as possible. Like, I literally just sat there with my hand, like not in my hand, like a finger on the wheel, and just kind of like zoned out. I think fucking drives itself. It's nuts. Really cool, really great car, and it really made the trip a lot better. So shout out to Mom for being a homie. I'll tell a little bit of the story, and then we'll keep going with the campaign. I'm checking the chat. You guys are loving it. Thanks for all the comments. Yeah, there's too many to read. So yeah, we're driving down. I'm like, didn't think the trip was gonna happen after my car had to go to the shop. I was like, fuck. I requested a day off. I got a bonus day off for Juneteenth or whatever. Shout out Abe Lincoln and my African Americans, my blacks, my you know, I don't know what the word is the right word anymore. I don't think any of them are. But anyways, drove down to Tennessee in like, let's say 7 hours. There's a time zone change, which made it kind of weird. We get through their driveway. Not their driveway, their road, I guess you could call it. And I'm telling you, there's like 11 properties on this road that's like 3 miles long and damn near just as high up. Like, it's literally a mountainside. So we're driving up a mountainside. I'm talking, 16-degree grade, going up 300 yards for every 100 yards we go forward. We pull in, get out, walk up another 200 yards of unpaved driveway, air quotes. It hasn't been finished yet. They're busy people. Oh shit, I gotta drink. Not a bug, I don't want to drink a bug. So Jim Raynor's a whiskey man. Here comes Tychus.
sector. You ain't that hard to find.
Alright,
I
that's
had to see it for myself.
that's the least sneaky pistol grab I've ever seen.
Little Jimmy Rayner, the people's hero.
Tychus Finley. Nice suit.
Pays to be prepared.
I heard they put you on ice. Life sentence. What? To give you time off for good behavior?
That's right, old buddy. I'm a model citizen now.
So to what do I owe the pleasure?
Just a friendly business proposition. Do you even know what the Dominion are doing out here?
I'm guessing you're
Digging
about
up
to tell me.
alien artifacts, old buddy. Your boy Minsk has gone crazy for them. But I got a contact that'll pay top dollar for every artifact we liberate from the Dominion.
I guess I can hardly pass that up now. Can I, Tychus?
Partners then. 60-40.
70-30. Feels like old times already.
Old times.
So that, of course, is some reference to Brood War that I don't know. Old times. And God, are they old. So there is a bunch of crap you can do in between missions. And if you didn't love this game as much as I did, you probably would just skip it after a while. But this is like my 5th or 6th time playing this campaign. And I still found myself clicking stuff. So typically, anytime I get something new, I gotta check the news. Thank you, Donnie Vermillion.
Live from the UNN studios on Core Hall, we've got a breaking story for you. Let's go live to our own Kate Lockwell on the fringe world of Marsara. Kate?
That's where we are.
Rebel Jim Raynor has reappeared in a big way. He's attacked a Dominion depot near Backwater Station, seizing weapons and distributing them to the local populace.
Kate, I bet the locals are pretty nervous about having a notorious outlaw in their neighborhood.
Actually, Donnie, the people I talked to seem really encouraged by the...
You heard it here first. Jim Raynor, terrorizing the locals on Marsara. When we return, were kids using stim packs?
Keep talking, pal. I'm just getting started.
He will keep talking, fortunately. He's a godsend. I love Donnie Vermillion and Kate Lockwell. They're a great little, I guess you'd be calling it a foil in literary terms. If you don't know what that is, look it up and go to school more. Understand the language we speak. Please, I implore you. A little picture of a Viking.
Folks in these parts are ready to fight back against Minsk. Guess they just needed a little push.
You still take this whole revolution thing pretty serious, then?
Everyone needs a hobby, Tychus.
Pretty serious hobby, revolutionizing. Don't know how you're supposed to actually build a following if you're not in the system, though. It's either you're radical or, you know, a button pusher that works their way up. Neither one of those seems too good.
Sometimes I think it would have been better if you just died that day.
This is Sarah Kerrigan, former Ghost Operative, which is a Special Forces unit of the Dominion military, who was abandoned on a planet and turned into the Queen of Blades. The Queen of Blades is the leader of the Zerg, the Hive faction. The Overmind, which was the previous leader, kind of was like dying and kind of chose her to replace it. We'll get more into that as we go on. We need to talk about Terran stuff. Yeah. Or whatever I want. So yeah, we get up this hill and we see this property. I mean, we've been seeing the property. It's a bunch of acres. I don't remember the exact number. More than 20, less than 100 or something. So, not quite sure. But yeah, they got like a... What is it? I guess you would call it pretty much an average size house, like an average 2-bedroom house. But the whole first floor is living area, kitchen, dining area, and then there's a loft where the women sleep, and the baby, and one of the younger boys. And then there's like a separate, like, I would call it like a pole barn, but it's like actually attached to the house. It's more like just an extension that's about 75% the size. You know, in total space, it's a big house. Like, if it was in Geist, it'd probably be like a 8-bedroom. But it's in a practical place where they value space, so it's only like a 4. That's where the boys sleep. That's where I stayed. It's more like a studio style. Like, their band records. Like, I mean, they've got like a beefy computer to do audio sampling, or what's it called? Producing. That's what it's called. They've got instruments. They've got guns. They've got electricity. You know, they've got everything. But the 3 oldest boys sleep in that room. That's where I slept as well. My dad was in the sunroom on the main house. Those 2 houses are not connected, but you know, it's only like a 20 foot walk outside, 20 yard foot, 20, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And I mean, like, it's all hand built. Like, they did everything. They, like, foundation to beams to roofs to walls, like, everything. They've been there for like 11 years. And like, oh God, I'm envious.
Call me curious, but how'd you get out?
Well, I busted out of my cryo freezer while they were transporting me to New Folsom.
That doesn't sound right.
I must have killed at least 12 guards with my bare hands.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. But you left out the part where you walked on water. Made off with the warden's daughter.
Don't you get uppity with me, boy. I heard all about you becoming a big-time freedom fighter while I was away. What happened, Jimmy? The war for truth and justice get too much for you.
I ain't licked yet, Tychus. And I promise you, Minsk is going down, one way or another.
Not sure what that .02 to the caret was. Checking my chat. Yeah, you guys are still firing me up. Time for a mission, I suppose.
Thanks to your actions, Marsara is now in a state of open revolt against Arcturus Minsk. Ex-convict Tychus Findlay has revealed the Dominion came to Marsara to excavate an alien artifact. Seizing the artifact will strike another blow against the Dominion and generate funds from selling it to Findlay's mysterious contacts.
Alright, character update. James Jimmy Rayner, protagonist. My character, so to speak. Cowboy, freedom fighter. Tychus Finley, last name. Capitalist, mercenary, hybrid. You know, like, yeah. Nothing else needs to be said. Arturus Minx, Emperor of the Dominion, leader of the human race, but as a freedom fighter against him, there's gotta be a reason. Sees the Zelnaga, that's how you say that, Zelnaga artifact. Credit reward 45k. Plus we get the medic unit, which isn't that good.
This old outpost don't look like anything special.
Keep your shirt on, son. The Dominion engineer's been digging out here for months. See that crane? They're getting ready to move the artifact they found off-world.
Hell, I'll be damned.
See? You gotta have a little more faith, Jimmy.
Alright, time to give the Dominion a wake-up call. Let's smash that base and haul that baby out of there.
Alright. I'm definitely going to dip in commentary value. Oh yeah. Another thing I fucking loved about being in Tennessee. Sorry, I just got a little congestion there. They sell fucking Delta 8 dip. Or chewing dip. I don't know what you non-dippers would call it. It's like chewing tobacco, but it's fucking Delta 8. It's fucking amazing. I'm gonna put one of those in real quick. And I'm gonna supplement it with a little bit of nicotine dip. So instead of smoking a spliff, I can dip a dlip.
What's going on?
Commander, additional tutorials are available for you to review.
We'll need a lot more Marines before we take on the Dominion outpost. Train them up at the barracks. While we're at it, extra SCVs will help us harvest minerals faster. Train them up at the command center.
Armed and ready. Sure. I'm on it. Looking forward. SCV ready. Bad news. You're the boss. This better be good. SCV ready.
Earn supply capped.
By the number. In the rear with the gear.
Sorry, my keyboard was shifting a little bit.
Been waiting on you. Big job, huh? You want a piece of me, boy? You gonna give me orders? Been waiting on you. You gonna get armed and ready. Ah! You scared me.
attacking the rebel base to the southwest.
Good. That'll keep the Dominion off our backs.
Those folks need our help, Tychus. There's no way we're leaving them to rot.
Been waiting on you. You gonna give me orders? Well, you guys sure are a welcome sight. But we're with you. Just tell us where you want us.
Welcome aboard, boys.
Bad guys are that away.
Big job. SCV ready. We could use some help here.
Sorry, this game is hard enough. It still requires me to think a lot when I'm
Dominion Hellions
playing
approaching.
it, but it shouldn't be a big deal here. Didn't lose the unit to those Hellions, so that's good.
We could use some help here. Nice job cleaning out that bunker, Jimmy. Between your boys and my skills, we are gonna go a long way together.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna go like 26 missions together.
Been waiting on you. Who wants some?
I shouldn't need anything more than that.
Go ahead. SCV ready. Armed? You gonna give me? We could use some help here. By the numbers, boys. Been waiting on you. SCV ready. You scared me. Who wants some?
Poor Marines got a long way to go.
You gonna give me orders?
Oh snap, there's an extra barracks over there?
Been waiting on you.
Yo,
That's fine.
I never even noticed that.
Rainer's boys.
Rainer's the man.
Dominion can go to hell.
Crane controls accessed. Detecting security overrides. Crane
Thought I heard something, sorry.
Beautiful. Now let's reel that sucker in and get out of here.
Sometimes I feel like I hear people breaking into my house, and it's not very fun. Yeah, not playing on hard. Easy mission. I probably could have done it on hard, but yeah, it doesn't matter. We're so early into the game. There's not much that actually matters in terms of bonuses. That's what they did a great job on this game. You can play the campaigns and get different experiences 3 or 4 times. There's like choices you make that are exclusive.
What was it like, Jimmy? Cotton Zerg.
All the scrapes we were in back in the day, all the narrow escapes, none of it compares to how terrible they are, Tychus. You don't know what real fear is until you got 1,000 of these sons of bitches barreling down on you.
I'd say real fear is just not knowing what you're gonna do to succeed. And by succeed, I mean provide for yourself and anybody who's dependent on you and be happy. I think being happy is one of the most underrated things in society. It's like, yeah, get a job, pay for your house, pay for your car, and then be happy. So many people aren't happy. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, man. Didn't the magistrate here know he was hiring an arch criminal as his marshal?
He was counting on it. Guess my tough guy reputation kept things nice.
Yeah, what is this 0.02 carat?
I never had to shoot anybody.
Well, where's the fun in that?
2496 was the date on that, and that's not a star date or anything. That's off of AD.
What's this? I heard them Zerg got burned out by them creepy Protoss a few years back.
It's been 4 years and they're still finding burrowed dens out in the wastelands.
Well, a trophy like that's gotta fetch a good price on the black market. Up for some hunting, partner?
Knock yourself out, Tychus. Me? I've hunted enough Zerg for 2 lifetimes.
Black market's definitely a real thing. Most profitable business you can get into is the illegal shit, drugs, sex, ugly shit. One ugly mother fucking way to make money, but it'll always be the most profitable, the illegal shit. Easiest job I ever had was being a drug dealer. I could make thousands of dollars in a month selling, you know, a couple ounces of shit.
I have to say, Jimmy, you turned into a real impressive fighter. If I was old Minsk, I'd be running scared for me too.
You really mean that, Tychus?
Nah, I was just kidding.
The fists here are pretty cool. I think that's a throwback to the World War II propaganda, the we're all together sort of mentality. Not positive. I don't think it's a racial thing, although the fight for freedom kind of makes it look like it's a black power thing, especially with the way the arms are toned. That's just a literary perspective.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's go now to Kate Lockwell with an update on Jim Raynor's violent uprising.
Thanks, Donnie. Raynor's clearly widening his list of targets. He's experienced an archaeological dig and possibly seized a dangerous alien artifact.
Emperor Mengsk spoke on this subject earlier today.
There's no telling what kind of havoc these supposedly innocuous relics might
See the bullet hole still on the bottom left? They shot the smallest screen. Drunk, but not that drunk.
Look on the bright side, partner. You're a wanted man either way.
Thanks, Tychus.
Shocking, Kate. I imagine civilian casualties were high as a result of Raynor's terrorist actions.
Actually, the only civilian deaths appear to be collateral damage from overzealous Dominion security forces.
Thanks, Kate. You heard it here first. Jim Raynor, killing women and children on Marsara.
So you can definitely see the undertones of media being employed by the government to be anti-media, essentially. I don't think that's a big problem in current society. I think if anything, our country oversells individual experiences for or not 4, but shit, I gotta work tomorrow. I think media blows out of proportion problems without actually identifying individual weakness, problems, what could be done. They'll say, yeah, the homeless people are a big problem, but they won't say why they're homeless. And typically it has something to do with a lack of governmental assistance or prevention, generally speaking.
So who's your mysterious buyer, Tychus? Who are we supposed to hand this artifact over to?
A bunch of eggheads I ran into called the Mobius Foundation.
Mobius? They're a legitimate research group. Why the hell are they talking to you?
Soon as your boy Minsk made it illegal to trade in alien goods, they got desperate. And you know me, Jimmy. I am a great patron of the sciences.
Definitely a problem that does equate to modern society. Without spending too much time on it, what Tychus just said is basically Meta or Facebook or Twitter. God. I'm trying to say this sentence without saying the word capitalist, but privatized industries will exploit consumerism through any means necessary to provide some sort of reason as to why they're exploiting individuals. If you need a more literal analogy, if you know the WhatsApp app, it was recently, or not that recently, bought out by Meta, which is as far as I understand, pretty much just Facebook company branding offshooting. And they are proud about their encryption on messaging. I don't understand why anybody would ever trust an encryption ad from a company that is known to leak data more than any other company, you know? Like, great, your message from you to them is private, but the company you're using it through is known to sell data to more than anybody else. I know that might be skewed. I might be wrong, but just what I'm saying.
With the artifact secure, you need to wait for transport at Backwater Station before you can leave Marsara. Transportation is on the way. Caution is advised. Dominion security forces may succeed in tracking the artifact to the station.
Okay, this will be my last mission for the night. I'm getting tired. And like I said, I gotta fucking grind out 10 hours tomorrow doing something I hate, so this mission should...
Transport coming to pick us up. All you gotta do is sit tight.
Don't sound too hard. I figure we earned ourselves a little R&R.
Commander, I'm detecting a massive concentration of Zerg biosignatures landing at the abandoned dig site.
I should have known it. Damn you, Tychus.
I swear, man, I didn't know nothing about no Zerg.
Didn't know nothing about no Zerg. Did not know nothing. So he knew something about no Zerg. So he knew that there wasn't Zerg. Oh, this mission's long. Fuck.
We're gonna have a real fight on our hands here.
I've been in plenty of holdouts before.
Not against a Zerg, you ain't.
I don't know if I have this in me. Yeah, no, I'm tired, and unfortunately, I can't afford to risk being tired tomorrow because I know it's going to be a busy day, and if I get fired, I lose my house. So I'm going to call it an episode here. Gonna abort the mission. I just don't want you guys to think I'm doing something I'm not. You can see I'm about to save. Terran campaign. Save. Overwrite. Yes. Quit campaign. And I streamed for almost 2 hours for me. Episode 1 of the Starcraft 2 anthology has been done. I'm gonna go back to fucking shitty ass real life tomorrow. Peace.